Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is mental performance coach Jay Hollingshed, and we are live once again with my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Today is number 21. That's right, today is number 21, and it is Saturday. Saturday's pillar is always positive and negative self talk. Positive and negative self talk. So, I'm going to start this video off a little different than I do any other video. Here's why. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm going to apologize. This one may go longer than the 10-minute time frame that Instagram gives because I'm a little passionate about what I'm about to say. Because I'm going to tell a part of my life story. And so if you're watching on Instagram and it cuts off, I do apologize. Go to, what am I about to say? Go to YouTube. Go to my YouTube story. My YouTube channel, I'm sorry. Go to my YouTube channel and I'm getting messed up about this story already. But go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, and that way you'll catch the full story on my YouTube channel. But today's story is, subject is positive and negative self-talk. And I'm going to start off by saying, I was in school, just recently in school, trying to get my doctorate in sport and performance psychology. I've taken sports psychology courses, performance psychology. I've been through all of that, but I wanted my doctorate in sport and performance psychology. And I'm about to be very transparent. I've been academically dismissed, not once, but twice in the past 2 years. I was enrolled at the University of Western States in Portland, Oregon, and in 2017, I was academically dismissed for not being able to keep up. So I said, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my schedule. You know, I was heavily involved with my fraternity at the time, and what else was I doing then? I am an executive board member of a nonprofit here in Columbus, Ohio. So I was trying to kind of curb my duties there so I can go ahead and nail this doctorate and get it and have that, under my belt. Changed all that, got my schedule worked out. Here I am. I'm going back again. I'm going to get this doctorate. Boom. End of 2017, I re-enrolled. Had to go through the whole enrollment process again. Everybody that wrote the letters for me, that was talking good on my behalf, I let them down. Oh man, that sucks. But I let them down. I went back to get my doctorate again, round 2. And I changed my schedule. Lo and behold, I'm going at it. I'm going hard, studying, putting in the time, putting in the work, opening the books. I'm into it, the whole thing. Here I am, got kicked out of school again in 2018. Academically dismissed from my doctoral program twice in 2 years. I'm loving the school. I'm loving the professors. University of Western States, Portland, Oregon. I keep giving you shouts because I can't say enough about you. Even my professors that were there, Dr. Daniel Wigan, Dr. Conrad Woolsey, and Dr. Michelle Cox. They are the best. They would not give up on me. In fact, Dr. Woolsey said, Jay, I'm not going to give up on you. You got to stick this out. You got to stick this through. Now, we're still on the subject of positive and negative self-talk. So this does tie in. I was telling Dr. Woolsey that I can't carry on in every subject, or every course cannot go on this way. Something's wrong. Something's not right. I'm not processing this information fast enough, or I'm not keeping up with the rest of the class. Here it is, time for me to submit my information, my papers and everything else, take my final exams and whatnot. And I'm still, midterms was like yesterday for me, and y'all talking about final exams. I'm not ready for that. Whatever it takes the average person an hour to do, it's going to take me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours. And um, after two rounds of not being able to keep up, even after changing my schedule, I had to go and find out what was wrong. So I went and subjected myself to a 7-hour clinical neuropsychological exam. 7 hours of just testing my brain, my mind, pressure. I was tired. Okay, it was draining. I went through all that to find out that maybe September, October of 2018, just 5 or 6 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I have been diagnosed with ADHD, combined type, and I have a reading disorder. And about 9 or 10 different symptoms showed up for this reading disorder. And honestly, when I got that news, when I got those results, I was super excited, happy as all get out. I'm like, dude, I got ADHD. Man, that's what's up. Oh man, I got a reading disorder. Oh, thank God. That sounds crazy, right? But it's not crazy to me because it answers questions I've had about myself ever since I was a child. We're still talking about positive and negative self-talk. I've had to struggle academically ever since I was in elementary school, struggling the whole time. I was that weird kid in school, that one kid that was blinking his eyes real fast and popping my fingers and making all kinds of weird noises. That was me. Andrea Ivory, you may remember some of this stuff. I see you watching. I thank you for tuning in. At the time we were at Alcee, yes, I was that kid. I had plugs in my head, not from a barber. There was no such thing as a fidget spinner in the late 70s and early 80s. So what I would do is sit like this and just fidget with my hair, one strand at a time, and in different places. Next thing I knew, I had bald spots here, bald spots there, bald spots all over my head. And that didn't help with me blinking my eyes real fast, making these funny noises, these loud audible sounds, and just being so jittery and fidgety. That was me. I was that kid. I had something was wrong. I was displaying mental disorders. And in the 70s, nobody was taking their kid to get diagnosed. You know, it just wasn't like that, especially me, you know, being in the hood, our parents, we were just a house full of love, you know, and if I was just bad, I was bad, I got a whooping. Simple as that. Long story short, I was that kid, and I struggled in school. As I got older, I learned I'm gonna back up. Before I got older, my dad, I was embarrassing my family. I didn't want to embarrass my family. Even my brother, you know, he would look at me like, dude, you all right? You know, what's up? What's wrong? You know, you good? And it bothered me because that negative self-talk was hitting me back then. Everybody's looking at you crazy, Jay. You know, you weird, you crazy, you funny. You know, something's wrong with you. And my dad would take a black eyeliner pencil or makeup pencil or whatever it was, and he would color in the spots in my head, you know, for when I go to church and things like that, or just when I go out in public. But it didn't work all the time because it was a grease pencil. You know, it had a certain amount of grease in it. And when the sun hit it, you know, it would shine, or if it was hot outside and I'm playing, it would melt, and that didn't add to it at all. You know, I got teased and picked on, even got bullied. I've been through that, you know, and the negative self-talk just kept coming. It kept coming. As I got older, my coping mechanism was fidgeting with my hair, blinking my eyes, popping my fingers, making those funny audible noises with my mouth. And as I got older, I didn't want to embarrass my family. So I learned to kind of curb my coping mechanisms. And I still do weird things today, but nobody notices them. If you're sitting close enough to me, you may hear some funny little noises that I do. I keep to myself with my mouth closed, but nobody. I still have my coping mechanisms that I work out today, but it was a big problem for me academically, going through school, grade school. It did make a difference. I worked twice as hard and sometimes 3 times as hard as everybody else just to make the honor roll. And it was low honor roll at that. Maybe all B's. On a good day, a couple of A's in with the B's, but I worked my butt off. It was tired. It was mentally draining. But working twice as hard became a norm. It was a way of life. It was like, okay, I'm determined not to fail. I'm determined not to be that person that everybody is saying that I am. Not knowing, I didn't hear anybody say that. I kept hearing myself say that I was that one kid that was crazy. I'm not going to make it. I'm stupid. I'm crazy. I'm psycho or whatever. That's what I kept telling myself in my head. So I had to prove to the rest of the world I can do this. I can keep up academically. And I had to just push myself to make those grades. Even through elementary school, high school, it didn't make a difference. I did graduate high school. That was rough. Any subject that dealt with reading, history, man, worst subject. Why? Because I had to read. I loved math, loved science. Why? Because I loved the mental challenge. Word problems, nah, not for me, kid. No way. Standardized tests, please. Standalone tests, they were standing alone without me. The standardized test just wasn't me. So I flunked out of a lot of stuff. I barely graduated. I worked my butt off to graduate, put it that way. Oh, wow. Graduated, and ACT scores, I'm not even going to tell you what they were. I'll save that for when I do this as a public speaker and I'm on somebody's stage. I'll tell you the rest of it. ACT scores, super low. Trust me. I went to community college. Back then it was Shelby State in Memphis. I was at Shelby State. Transferred from Shelby State to Memphis State. And when I was there, it was so embarrassing because my reading comprehension level, like I said, at age 45, 4 months ago, I was diagnosed with a reading disorder of multiple symptoms. And I knew something was wrong, but it wasn't until I was 45 to find out that that's what it was. But back at Memphis State, I wasn't even taking regular college courses. I was still finishing high school reading courses at Memphis State. That was super embarrassing. And I had to fight and struggle my way through that. It was embarrassing because I wasn't in the psychology building. I wasn't in any of the other buildings, Everybody who wasn't up to par academically, mentally, you were still behind, slow. You took courses in another building. And it was only that building where you took those remedial courses. I was taking remedial math, remedial reading courses at Memphis State. And I struggled my way through those. God blessed me with a job at the fire department. I worked my way up, up the ladder on the fire department a little bit, to the point to where they even let me ride lieutenant for like 5 years. I was riding out a rank lieutenant, being in charge of somebody. So had some kind of sense. But at age 39, I went back to school and struggled, finished my struggle. I finished my struggle in college. I'm sorry, not at age 39, at age 36. I went back to college. I was still on the fire department. I went to Belton University. Finished at age 39. Graduated 2013. And finally graduated with a bachelor's. It kicked my butt. I ain't gonna lie, it kicked my butt. But I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to stop there. I knew something greater was for me, and I wanted more for myself. And so I pursued a master's in healthcare administration. Yes, in 2017, I finally finished with my master's, but I had to retake so many freaking courses to get a better grade and graduate with honors as a master, with my master's, and it was horrible. Failing class after class in my master's program, and yes, you fail in classes. I had to pay for that, and it didn't stop me though. It was like just that grit, that determination. I had to do it. And when I graduated with my master's, somebody planted the seed in my head, Dr. J, Dr. J, Dr. J. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I saw it. And let me tell you this. God will not plant a seed in your mind that you are not capable of giving birth to. God won't impregnate you with a dream that will come out as a stillborn. It won't work that way. It doesn't happen that way. Each level was harder for me and harder. So when I got to trying to do this doctorate thing, I got kicked out of, I got dismissed from my doctoral program twice in 2 years, only to find out, at age 45, got ADHD, reading disorder, all kinds of crap going on. So is that stopping me? No. Am I going to let it stop me? No. So here I am on ADHD medication, amphetamine salts. What's this stuff called? I forget what it's called, the street name for it or whatever it is. But anyway, I'm taking that, but I am focus issues. My mind was everywhere. As you can see, my mind is everywhere in this video. Focus issues was one of the things with the ADHD. So here I am. I said, I'm going to beat that. I got to beat that, and I will beat that. So to beat that, I started studying Hindu monks because they have the ability to focus for like 3-4 hours at a time during meditation. So meditation, I have a heavy meditation regimen is part of my life right now. In the past 6 months, heavy meditation, and it's working. That with other non-medicinal practices, I have a whole list of things that I'm doing right now, but I am successfully, and hear me when I say this, I am successfully weaning myself off of this new ADHD medication that I'm on. I'm not taking a whole pill. I pop the pill in half. Some days I don't even take it. And there's a Russian, I think it's a Russian psychologist. I've been studying him. His name is Ivan Pavlov, and he has a theory of, forget the name of it, but his theory was that he got a dog to salivate at the ring of a bell instead of the smell of food. So here I am. If he can get this dog to do that, I took the same methodology, and I'm using that to bring myself to a heightened state of awareness, a heightened state of focus without the pill, but with other practices and means that I'm doing, things I'm using. And it's helping. It's helping a lot, a great deal. So I'm giving myself a year to work through this thing and take notes and process how I'm doing this and how I am successfully doing this, because I'm going to teach this to others. And this is all positive self-talk, positive and negative self-talk. I'm fighting myself, fighting back and forth as I go through this process. Today is positive and negative self-talk. That's the pillar for today. And for those of you that don't know, the book has already started. I've started writing a book about this story. And so that's how I'm handling the ADHD part. The reading disorder. Now, repetition is how we learn. So I have been force setting a higher reading comprehension level for myself. Yes, I graduated with a bachelor's in management and organizational development, and with honors. It was a struggle. Yes, I graduated with a healthcare administration degree, a master's of science in healthcare administration. It was a struggle with honors, but it kicked my butt. So I got all that. I struggled my way through all of that with ADHD unchecked, with a reading disorder unchecked, but I'm going back and documenting how I did that, so I can teach it to somebody else, because this is all mental performance. And as far as me being a mental performance coach, mental performance ain't just something I just looked up in a book and said, I'm gonna do this. This is my life. I've lived it. Yes, I've talked to pro athletes, former pro athletes. I've talked to trainers, the trainers of pro athletes. I've talked to Fortune 50 top executives, CEOs, CFOs, HBO producers, Tony Award winners. I talked to all of them about mental performance, about what they do. Even Grammy nominees, I talked to them about their aspect of mental performance. From being a firefighter, I was on a CIS team, critical incident stress debriefing team, where I worked with firefighters and the psychologists that treated them for their mental effect, the stress that they dealt with. So I've talked with them. I've done deep dive mental assessments with firefighters, policemen, military, even doctors. I got friends here in the state of Ohio that are not heart surgeons. I called him a heart surgeon. He corrected me. He deals in small spaces, like in the veins that goes into our hearts. So, I mean, we've talked. I've gotten their aspects on mental performance. And so mental performance, it's not just a haphazardly career I stumbled upon. This is a life that I've lived through. I've experienced it, and I'm going through it. I'm still perfecting what I do mentally today. So that's my reading disorder. How am I handling that? First of all, I got to give a shout out to Dr. Clifford Black, who's a mentor that started me on my journey of mental performance. This book right here, Black's Law Dictionary. This is not Clifford Black's book, but Black's Law Dictionary is one book he put in my hand. He said, know this book, read it. And this book, to understand that book, you have to have a higher reading comprehension level, which as of 4 months ago, I was diagnosed with a reading disorder. And my reading comprehension level is not of somebody that has a PhD or somebody in a doctoral program. So I am reading that book like crazy, like it's a good book, like it's a novel, for setting a good reading comprehension level, a higher reading comprehension level in my mind. So the repetition of those words, the repetition of the words from higher academia and the language that they speak and the meanings of it is all being forced in my head over and over and over. Another book that I'm using to combat this reading disorder. What is this? Oxford Essential Dictionary of Difficult Words. Yes, this book does exist. Oxford's Essential Dictionary of Difficult Words. This book I'm picking this up and reading this over and over and over. Just going through the words, putting them in my head over and over and over. Forcing my mind to think, act, and do and comprehend on a much higher reading comprehension level than what I've been diagnosed with. I'm preparing myself for round 3 of this doctorate. And don't mean no harm. Forgive my language. But I'm getting this damn doctorate. I don't care what nobody says. I'm getting this damn doctorate. University of Western States. I've already talked back to my school. I'm eligible to come back for round 3. This time I'm coming back with a stronger mindset. I'm coming back with my own mental performance coaching working on me. I'm coming back with a stronger reading comprehension level. I'm coming back, and if I have to keep taking this ADHD pill to get through that doctorate, I'm going to get my doctorate. I am coming back. I'm coming back with a vengeance. Simple as that. The school said I'm good to come back. So if anybody at University of Western States is watching this or this gets to you, Dr. Wigan, Daniel Wigan, thank you for never giving up on me. Dr. Michelle Cox, thank you for never giving up on me. Dr. Conrad Woolsey, my man, thank you for not giving up on me. I'm coming back and I will get what's mine. That is mine. Dr. James J. Hollingshed. So I'm going to get that. And this whole journey, like I said, is positive and negative self-talk. It started off negative self-talk with me back in elementary school, being that one kid with that that mental disorder that was popping my fingers, blinking my eyes, making those loud noises, getting picked on and bullied because of my differences, because of my mental coping mechanisms, and barely getting through grade after grade, subject after subject in school. I went through all of that. That was a lot of negative self-talk I kept feeding myself, but now that has flipped. The positive self-talk is what got me through everything. It has gotten me over one hump after the next hump. This story is much longer, much better. It gets greater in detail. There are more things that I'm doing to combat this mental, this ADHD thing that I have, and this reading disorder. Things such as working with solfeggio tones, binaural beats. Like I said, I'm studying the Hindu monks, and I've adopted so many practices of theirs that have been just outstanding for me. The documentation of what I'm doing for that is awesome. So I've already said I am qualifying events and organizations for me to come on stage and be as a public speaker and give my story, my testimony. This is the story that I'm going to give. This is the testimony that I'm going to give. So share this with somebody. Share this with anybody. Tag them if you feel that they need to hear this. Tag them. I will share my story of pure grit and determination. Like, share, tag, whatever. Post this on all your social media social media platforms. And yes, somebody said this is big for me to tell. Yes, it was big for me to come out and tell. It was a song by Mary Mary. Some of the lyrics say, "My story is my glory." Well, this is my story, and my glory is right behind it. So I'm not worried about that. God already told me I'm getting what's mine. So I'm sharing it with you guys. I'm bringing y'all along with the journey, bringing you along the journey throughout this year. I'm still working on this reading disorder, and I'm working on this ADHD thing. I'm going to battle this and conquer it and beat it. After this year, I'm getting back in school. I'm getting my doctorate. I'm getting what's mine. Everything I'm saying out loud, positive right now, it all started in my mind as positive self-talk. Now I'm able to bring that out. Go to my website. I share a lot more of my story on my website, jayhollingshed.com, jayhollingshed.com. Check out my website. And that's all I have. I'm going to stop right there. There's so much more to the story, and it's actually structured as a public speech. So I want to bless somebody with this. I want to bless somebody with this story. I want to bless your audience with this story. It's a story of pure grit and pure determination. A lot of people who see me now, who know me now, did not know that I was that one kid that everybody looked at crazy and kind of stayed away from, or called me retarded. But that's what it was, not what it is. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Be well, stay blessed, and through love, be a blessing. God bless.